The box office may be slow now, but 2011 is shaping up to be a big year at the theaters.
Our movie guy Aaron Lafferty has a look ahead at some of the year's biggest coming attractions.
Some jobs need to look like accidents. Best jobs are the ones nobody even knows you are there.
In The Mechanic, Jason Statham and Ben Foster star in an action thriller about a hitman teaching his apprentice the tricks of the trade.
Romeo!
Juliet, I just wanted to see you again.
February brings the first of a bunch of new family movies this year. Romeo and Juliet is the classic story of Romeo and Juliet, set in the world of garden gnomes.
I was in a taxi. I crashed. I don't know how I got here.
You have been in a coma for 4 days.
In Unknown, Liam Neeson is a man who wakes up from a coma and finds out that someone else has taken his identity, and no one, not even his wife, believes him.
We are the people who make sure things happen according to plan. We monitor the entire world.
In March, Matt Damon and Emily Blunt star in The Adjustment Bureau, a sci-fi thriller about a mysterious organization trying to keep the two of them apart.
Don't move.
What?
Don't move.
Not moving.
Shh, not moving. Try to blend in.
What? Blend in? What do you mean?
Blend in.
Huh? What are you saying?
Too late.
Johnny Depp voices Rango, an animated adventure about a chameleon who is forced to change into a hero to protect a western town.
What we just witnessed come out of the ocean.
12 different locations across the globe were breached.
There are massive casualties in Moscow, Paris. We lost communication.
Aaron Eckhart and Michelle Rodriguez try to save the world in Battle Los Angeles as they face off against an alien invasion.
We can't do this anymore.
They've arranged for you to marry Henry Lazar.
What do we do now? I'd do anything to be with you.
Red Riding Hood is not just an update of the classic fairy tale, it's also a werewolf movie from the director of the first Twilight movie.
12 times someone's tried to kill you.
I'm an Irish Catholic with the grace of God on my shoulder. If any of these maggots from the so-called mafia want to come after me, I'm not a hard man to fight.
In limited release will be Kill the Irishman, the true story of Danny Green, a tough Irish thug working for mobsters in Cleveland during the 1970s. It was filmed in Detroit in the summer of 2009, and the cast includes Ray Stevenson, Christopher Walken, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Val Kilmer.
Told me to reach your own paradise. Just let go.
March wraps up with the latest fantasy action movie from visionary director Zack Snyder. Sucker Punch is about a young girl institutionalized by her wicked stepfather. She retreats to an alternative reality to cope with it all, envisioning a plan which will help her escape the facility.
I took your advice. It was very good advice. Sean.
Look, I can see that you think you know me, but I don't know who you are. My name is Captain Coulter Stevens.
You're kind of freaking me out.
April begins with a sci-fi thriller, Source Code. Jake Gyllenhaal is a soldier who wakes up in the body of an unknown man and discovers he's part of a mission to figure out who bombed a Chicago commuter train.
Modern audiences have become savvy to the rules of the originals. I mean, there are still rules, but the rules have changed.
And the kill's gotta be, like, way more extreme.
One of Wes Craven's most popular movie franchises returns with its fourth installment, Scream 4, that filmed in Ann Arbor, Dearborn, and the Detroit area last year. In this story, 6 years have passed, and Sydney is once again visited by the ghost-faced killer.
You made my men look like a bunch of minimum wage mall cops. That's hurtful. Would you like to tell me where you received your training? Afghanistan? Chechnya? Who are you?
May is the month of superheroes and sequels, starting with Thor. Chris Hemsworth stars as the powerful but arrogant warrior who is cast out of Asgard and sent to live on Earth, where he becomes one of the planet's greatest superheroes.
There'll be dangers along the way. Firstly, mermaids, zombies, Blackbeard, the pirate all pirates fear.
Captain Jack Sparrow gets a fourth installment, this time in 3D, in Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Sparrow and crew go on a quest to find the elusive Fountain of Youth, but they aren't the only ones after the treasure.
I think so.
The guys from The Hangover are also back in The Hangover Part 2. This time, Phil, Stu, Alan, and Doug travel to Bangkok for Stu's wedding. Poe and the gang return for Kung Fu Panda 2, where they join forces with a group of new Kung Fu masters to take on an old enemy with a deadly new weapon.
A lot to offer in 2011. Great roundup by Aaron.
Well, it's amazing because Aaron has just taken us through the end of the month of May.
I feel like I don't even need to go.
Yeah. Well, you're like,
I'm going to get those on DVD.
Yeah, you're like,
I
that's one for DVD.
The
that's one for watching in the theaters. That's one for DVD. I think that Kung Fu Panda looks really great. That's one you almost really have to see in the theater just to get kind of the idea of what that's all about. So,
Well, coming up later in the show, Aaron will preview the rest of the year in movies and talk with us about what's new in West Michigan theaters this weekend.
That's right. And Aaron and I are actually going to have a movie date ourselves because he has not seen The King's Speech yet, and I want to see it again. So we're going to have to do that. We'll invite you along. How about that?
Thank you.
The 8 West Movie Matinee. We'll be right back.
Your all-access pass to everything West Michigan.